Hello fellow foodies, Tim here welcoming you to the Test Kitchen. Today, because St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, next week to be exact, I believe next Tuesday, we wanted to prepare a pub-style classic dish that you would find when you're out and about for St. Patrick's Day. This one is bangers and mash. So we're going to do it a little differently, so let's call it 2020 style. Traditionally, bangers and mash is sausage, mashed potatoes, and a brown gravy. This one, instead of the mashed potatoes, we're going to do potato gnocchi, which is a potato-based pasta dumpling. And we're going to put beer, sour cream, we're going to braise some cabbage. So before I get going, let's talk about the cabbage. This is ready to come out of the oven. But the cool thing about this cabbage is basically it's just shaved cabbage. Probably about 2 pounds. I've got some onions in there, some white onions in there. I've got some oil, salt, pepper. Very simple and easy. But the cool thing about braising this cabbage is I put 2 cups of pickle juice. So in this case, I used a sour mustard pickle juice. So you can use any pickle juice that you have. It's kind of a waste not, want not thing. You have it, use it to braise your cabbage. So this is going to be one of the accompaniments for the dish. A little unique. And the great thing about the braised cabbage also is that you can keep it in your pantry, kind of like the chef's pantry item. You can use it for sandwiches, charcuterie boards, for this particular dish. So it's very versatile. All right, so we're gonna start right off by heating up our pan. So while that's heating up, we're gonna pour a little oil blend in there. And we're just gonna wait for that to heat up. Shouldn't be any more than 10-15 seconds. Once the oil is hot, this dish moves relatively fast, but while I'm waiting for the oil, I'm just gonna take some of my pickle braised cabbage and put it in this mixing bowl so it's ready to go when we get to that step. And again, the rest of this, I'm just gonna put in a container, put it in the refrigerator, and I'll have it to use for future dishes. All right, so our oil should be good enough. So we have some diced onion and some rough chopped garlic. Gonna add our potato gnocchi or our mash. So basically we're just taking this pasta and just browning it up a little bit. I'm going to add my bangers. So you can do this a few different ways. You can keep them whole. You can put little scores on them when you saute it. For this particular dish, just because of the shape of the mashed potatoes, I chose to go with slices. It's going to make for a better eating circumstance, if I want to say it that way. But so a little tasty tidbit of information about bangers that I really personally didn't know until I was looking it up last night. But apparently bangers gets its name from World War I era, where during war times there was a shortage of meat. So the producers of sausage were forced to rethink their recipes, so they added extra water to the recipe of the sausage, which kind of blows up the meat. Makes sense. So with that, when the sausage with the extra water content was sauteed on high heat, it would pop, otherwise known as bang. So I don't know why they don't call them poppers. Poppers and mash? I like bangers and mash. So while that's browning up a little bit, I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna finish off our cabbage portion. And just basically I'm gonna take some of this pickle braised cabbage, put a dollop of sour cream. So it's going to be kind of like a cream cabbage. So now we're ready there. A couple other fun things. So instead of deglazing with a white wine or a red wine as you would kind of a traditional pasta dish, not that this is a pasta dish, but it resembles one. We're going to use some Guinness. Any other stout will be fine. We're just going to use a couple ounces. let it cook down. See how it's getting nice and thick. So essentially this is creating our sauce. And then to finish this off, we have some beef-based brown gravy. Just balance this. We'll let that thicken up just a little bit. And while that's thickening up, I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. Don't want it to burn on us. I'm going to start plating. So again, we have our cream pickle braised cabbage, sour cream, so it's got a little sour, a little creamy texture there. I'll put that on the base. Very yummy. You can smell the pickle. And we just spoon this out because we do have a little bit too much of the gravy there. Don't want to have an overkill on the sauce. Yum. Perfect for lunchtime. And then we're going to finish it off with 3 items. I've got some fresh dill. I think dill and potato and sausage go very well together. And some flat leaf parsley. And then lastly, a little dollop of grain mustard. Mustard and sausage, kind of a classic pairing. There you go. Our little twist on bangers and mash. Shall we give it a take? All right. Make sure I get a little bit of mustard. That's bangering. Enjoy.